everyone, KSU Edustyle 강사 Grace라고 합니다. So you might be asking yourself, what exactly is critical reading? Well, as the name itself suggests, it is critically analyzing the reading passages and forming connections between the sentences and figuring out the intentions of the author. So many students struggle in this subject because they are so used to reading absentmindedly and reading the words at face value without digging any deeper. And this is where I come in. In this video, I want to outline some simple strategies that will help you develop some reading comprehension skills and be able to read analytically, and also this will help you raise your SAT critical reading scores. So, first strategy, skim over the questions before you read the passage. I know it seems a little backwards, but by reading the questions first, you will be actively looking for the answers while reading the passage, and this will save a lot of time because you won't have to read the passage again to look for the answers. So think of it this way. If you're going grocery shopping and you have a list of groceries in your hand, then when you're at the grocery store, you won't be fumbling around trying to figure out what to buy because you know exactly what you're looking for. Whereas if you go grocery shopping without a list, then when you're there, you will be fumbling around trying to figure out what you need to buy on the spot. So strategy 2 is to label the question types. I suggest that you label the general questions as G and specific questions as S. General questions ask you about the passage as a whole, and they don't really ask you to refer to specific sentences in the passage or specific words. The most common types of general questions ask about tone or of the author or the main purpose or the main idea or the theme. And specific questions ask you to refer to a particular word or a phrase or sentence in the passage. Let's look at an example. So this passage will be available to you online in one of our files on the website, but let's just look at the questions for now. So question 10, it says the primary purpose of the passage is to. So since it's asked for a primary purpose, it would be a general question. Whereas question 11 has a line reference, lines 4 to 10, so it's a dead giveaway that it is a specific question. So you would have to write S next to it. And same with question 12, has a line reference and also has the word workout in quotations, so this is also a specific question. Same with number 13, it's also a specific question. So one of my word of advice is that I don't want you guys to feel like you need to answer the questions in the order they come. You need to be smart and strategic about the order in which you answer them. So you should answer the specific questions first and then answer the general questions later. And the reason for this is because if you answer the specific questions first, then as you answer them, you will gain facts, specific facts about the passage that you might have missed while reading. And by gathering all those facts together, you can get a better understanding about the big picture or the general idea of the passage. And doing this will help you answer the general questions more accurately. Strategy 3, you should always be on the lookout for direction words. Direction words are words that establish a relationship between the sentences, such as however, but, that show a change in opinion, or words like because, therefore, that show a cause and effect relationship. This list is just a short example of the many direction words there are that you need to be on the lookout for and be underlining and keeping track of while reading the passage. Strategy 4. So it's about main idea. So after I finish reading a passage, I don't jump straight into answering the questions, but instead I take a few seconds to organize in my head what the main idea was and put the passage in my own words. I usually do this in one sentence because it helps narrow down any other specific facts that might make it hard to figure out. So doing this will prevent you from falling into traps that SAT test writers add in their answer choices to trick you. Strategy 5 is that almost all the passages ask you at least one question about the tone of the author. So you should actively look for clues to what the author's tone is while reading the passage. And then you should write a plus sign or a minus sign or an equal sign to indicate whether the author's tone was positive or if it was negative or neutral. And by figuring out the tone of the passage, even if you don't understand some of the questions, you can make educated guess and eliminate a lot of the wrong answer choices. Some of my other tips is to not be scared to mark up your paper. It's your test. So you should underline any names, italicized words, or quotations, because chances are many questions will ask you to refer back to these specific words and facts. Another thing is you should jot down the topic of each paragraph as you read them, especially for the longer passages, so you can more easily follow the flow of the entire passage. And this will save you a lot of time because you won't have to go back and try to figure out where each of the facts are and what paragraph some of these facts come in. Another advice is for double passages. Double passages are when two passages are put together and are followed by a set of questions. Always these passages are about the same topic, but a lot of the times they're about different opinions about the topic or have difference in tone. So it is very important that you read the passages and figure out a relationship or a connection between the two. My last tip of advice is that SAT critical reading passages come in 4 genres. It's natural science, humanities, social science, and literary fiction. So you can better prepare yourself for the SAT critical reading by reading things in this genre on your everyday life, such as National Geographic or CNN. Critical reading is a skill that is not only necessary for SAT, but it's also necessary to succeed in college, in your career, and your many other future endeavors. So I'm very excited to help you guys develop this skill, and I look forward to seeing you all at PSG Edu. Thank you.